Welcome back to another journal video. I finally went back to journaling and it was something I really missed. Ever since I started working on September, it was not September, it was August, but I did the bullet journal till September. I stopped doing it and I felt my life going completely off rails, so I decided to do this journal now that I don't have work to do, to get my life back in track. So I'm going to show you my setup for the year, and then I'm going to show you how I did my cover page for January month and the first weekly spread. I know that I am late already, but it's better late than not. So the first page, 2019, it will be the Earth big year. It is not yet because it only starts, I think, on the 4th of February, but I like to point the zodiac, the Chinese zodiac, in the first page as well. I did a quote on the second page that I think will resume my aspirations for the whole year. I'm a Pisces, I am a dreamer, so everything that has something to do with dreams, I get all over the place about it. I really love quotes about dreams. So the quote is, "Never let it be said that to dream is a waste of one's time, for dreams are our realities in waiting. In dreams we plant the seeds of our future." The key to the bullet journal, I hope to stick to it, because last year I didn't quite stick to this motif, and it was really a mess, so I am hoping that I respect this year. The overview of the year, my goals, and some important dates I have yet to point down, like birthdays and events. My collection and wishlist spreads, so here I'm going to point out what games I play, movies and series I watch, and books I read. I really need to read more books. And the wish list, everything I want for home and for myself, I'm going to point here. So these two pages were something I did always on each month, and they were a lot of work, and I really hated doing those spreads because it was a lot of work for little to write down. So I figured out it would be great here as an overview, and if I need to consult everything, I wouldn't have to go month to month, you know. So it's here. I think it's more practical. Let's see. So in this page there's a letter to my future self. I'm going to open it by the end of 2018. So at first I had this on the spread, normally written on the spread, and the January page was on the other side, but I really hated the cover page for January, so I ripped it out. The papers are here. And because I didn't want to write down that again, because it had the date, and the point was that it was written that day, it should be authentic, you know. So I figured out I would put the papers in an envelope and glue the envelope here, and I really prefer this way because any person would open this up and read the letter, but like this it's a little more private. I really prefer this way. And the next page will be the January spread. I already have the doodle here and the layouts for the second page, so let's get to it. So there were a lot of ways in which this went wrong. At least the first one I did. So the first cover I did was basically this one, but I used bright colors and I screwed it up on the framing because I forgot I didn't want to line art the frame, with pens, and I did, and the result was very heavy to look at. So I ended up scrapping the project and do it all from the beginning. As you can see, I chose clouds for this month, and I'm sorry if you see my cat walking around the camera. He was very needy today. Please bear with him. I also tested a few colors on my last page, so it would not be as bright as the first cover I did. So I used a grayish blue to make some highlights in the clouds, and I enjoy it so much more than the first attempt. I am coming to the conclusion that I really love soft colors. I pushed myself to do a stronger shadowing, but I guess I don't like it in the end. Oh well, I don't know. But anyway, I ended up doing the framing around the month of January, but on pencil, and I think it looked a lot better this way. I decided to put my goals and some other things on the right page because I wanted to leave the two next pages for the weekly spreads. So I ended up to put a bunch of things in here, like to-do lists, playlists, the musics I hear this month, and on the button I had the moon phases and the dates. I really love how I did this. I used flowers to represent the moon phases because I think it's a really good analogy to have a full bloom bouquet in the full moon phase, and I thought that was really cute. I had a quote which says, "It's just a phase," pun intended. And you know me, I like to add a bunch of collectibles as well, representing the month of January and the symbols for this month. And there were two things I wanted to write down as somewhat like stamps, I guess. And I draw the flower of January, which is the carnation. I really love carnations, and they are kind of really big deal in my country. They are a symbol of peace, and I really love doodling them. And the birthstone for this month is the garnet. I also picked my tarot card for this month, and I got the Judgment. Fortunately, I got the upright version, which symbolizes rebirth, and I really need that right now. So this is it for the cover page. Moving on to the weekly spreads. I didn't do anything too out of the ordinary. I really wanted to keep it simple because one problem I had with my last bullet journal is that I tended to make things difficult, and I usually needed a full day to plan my journal. And just so you have an idea, it only took me about 2 hours maximum to complete this month cover and weekly page. And I think this is what's all about bullet journaling. It needs to be practical, otherwise if you get too busy you will give up on it. I gave up the tracker page, I gave up the art spread, and I'm just sticking everything in the weekly pages so I can do them as I go. I tried to do some more clouds around to stick to the theme of the clouds, and in this blank space I did my first idea for the cover, which was an air balloon, and instead of a balloon it would be clouds. This was my first idea for the cover page, but I think would be too messy for the minimalistic style I was going for. So yeah. So this is it for January. I hope you have enjoyed it. I really changed a lot of things in the way I do this, but I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!